Thank you. That's my life story right there. It's about 3 minutes long. It's funny, I live next door to my dad, and he comes over and he watches those tapes like it's live. Mike, let's watch the game again. You know, Dad, let it go. It's over, you know. It's been 24 years. There's a joke in my hometown that my father was so proud of my gold medal that he wanted to have it bronzed and put on the trophy shelf at home. Believe me, if you knew my dad, and I know there are probably some Italians here, he would do this. Well, anyway, it is great to be here. And it's funny, I talk about my dad a lot because he taught me a lot about life and commitment to succeed, but he didn't teach me too much about ice hockey because he could never ice skate. But when I was a kid, you know, he would just kind of drive me to practice and, you know, watch me play. And when I get into college, he became this expert in the game. I remember I played hockey at Boston University. I remember after one of our games, we had won the game 4-2, and I had a breakaway during the game. And I missed the breakaway, but the team won, so I was obviously pretty happy that we won. And when the game was over, my mom and dad, and I have 4 sisters and a brother, used to kind of always wait in the corner for me after the game. And I went over and I said, geez, that was a great game. Dad said, yeah. I said, it was a good win. I said, I can't believe a goalie made a pretty good save on me. And he said, you should have deked the goalie. And I said, what? He said, you should have deked the goalie. Now, deking the goalie is when you go in and fake the goalie out. I just went in and shot it. I said, really? I said, what does deke mean? He goes, I don't know, but the guy behind me said you should have deked the goalie. So, as I said here, I learned a lot not to listen to him about hockey. But it is nice to be here, and I guess, you know, lately, especially with our movie coming out in a couple of weeks, it's been kind of a fun time for me, and actually the last 24 years have been a lot of fun. I've had the opportunity to come to events like this and talk to a group of people. Basically, I have a story to tell. You know, it's a story of what it was like for me and my teammates to do something that nobody in the world thought we could accomplish. You know, how a group of athletes came together and accomplished something so special. And I've always felt that the goals and objectives that we have as athletes have are the same goals and objectives that you have. And it's to be the best, and it's to be successful. And, you know, we went to Lake Placid despite all the odds with the hope and a belief that if we worked hard, if we believed in ourselves, more importantly, if we believed in each other, that we could accomplish anything. And I remember when our team was selected, like I said to you, nobody thought we could win. A bunch of college hockey players playing at that time against many of the other countries' teams that were their professionals, our best in the world. I remember we were in a room like this, and Herb Brooks was our coach, and thousands of players tried out for the 80 Olympic team, and they narrowed it down to about 80 guys. 80 players were invited to Colorado Springs, and we competed against each other. And from there, we sat in a room, and Herb stood in front of us, and he said, okay, if I call your name, please stay. If I don't, thank you for coming for the tryout. And I remember the first name he called was Ken Morrow. And I'm sitting in the back going, God, I hope this isn't alphabetical. You know? And he proceeded to go through the list of names, and 26 players were selected. And everybody left the room, and he stood in front of us, and he said, gentlemen, I'll be your coach, but I'm not going to be your friend. So right away, I thought, this is going to be a long season. Well, we went out and we embarked on a 6-month travel schedule. We played all over the country, the United States. We went over to Europe, and we played all over Europe. I remember a game we played in Norway against a Norwegian national team. The game ended in a 3-3 tie, and a country like the United States, even a good college team, should be able to go out and compete and beat a team from Norway. It's not known for its hockey. Well, when the game was over, Herb wasn't very happy with the way we played, and he ended up blowing the whistle, and everybody was trying to figure out where's he going, and he brought us all down to one end of the rink. And he proceeded to yell at us and tell us how poor we really played, and kept harping on us that you can't win on talent alone. You don't have enough talent to win on talent alone. So the next thing you know, we proceeded to do what we called Herbies, which, if anybody sees a hockey rink at all, you start at the boards and you go to the blue line, then you go back to the boards, then you go to the red line, back to the boards, to the far blue line, back, then down and back. Well, if you do 5 or 6 of those, it's a lot. Well, we did them for 1 hour. And actually, the last 15 minutes, the guy in the arena shut the lights off because we had to come back and play the next day. Well, when we were finished, finally our team doctor came in the ice and just told Herb, you got to get him off the ice. Somebody's going to drop dead here. Well, we went in the locker room, and Herb said, if you play this way again tomorrow, you'll do it again. And we won 11-0. And the reason he made us do this was, again, an early time in our training to understand what it was going to take for us to be successful. We had to become, as you people are talking about, one voice. We had to become one team. We had to become a group of athletes who believed in ourselves and believed in each other. And it was at that point that we started to come together. It was at that point that we realized in order for us to be successful 6 months down the road, we had to become a team. And I think of all the travel and all the training that we did. And I think of the sacrifices that were made in order for us just to get there and to have an opportunity to be there. Same kind of sacrifices you make every day to be successful at what you do. And I think of all the things that Herb talked to us about. Teamwork, pride, respect, commitment. To me, old-fashioned values. I like to use things that my dad always taught me. My dad told me that if you understand the value of work, at some point in your life you'll be successful. And it might not be today or tomorrow or next month or next year, but when you achieve your goal and you're successful at what you do, it will be because of time, effort, and work. It won't be like, 1980 we won, they called it a miracle. I'm a Red Sox fan. We ever win a World Series. That's a miracle, It was an accomplishment through old-fashioned values. Time, effort, and work. Believe in yourself. Surround yourself with people whose goals and objectives are the same as yours. And that was basically our hockey team. Every day we came to the rink focused and prepared to be the best that we could be. And I think when you have that atmosphere, when you're in a locker room or in the office place with people who have that same thought process, nothing but great things can happen. I remember when the team was selected, Herb made a pretty interesting comment to us. He said, if there's anybody that does not want to be here, leave now, because there are thousands of people who would like to be in your shoes. And I think that's the same thing with a company that's successful. If you have people that don't want to be there, then leave, because obviously they're hurting your growth and they're hurting your team's growth. I had a high school football coach that told me, ability and a dime gets you a cup of coffee. And when you think about our lives, how many times we've been around people with great ability and great talent and great skill, but don't quite get the job done. It's like right now, I can go outside and I can give you a test. I can see how high you can jump, how fast you can run, how much weight you can lift. But I can't measure your heart. I can't measure your pride, and I can't measure your commitment. And to me, those are the intangibles. Those are the intangibles that separate good teams from great teams, and those are absolutely the intangibles that separate good business from great business.